All right. I have Abigail to my left, I have Scarlett in the middle, and I have Will to my right. These are the parents of Scarlett, and I just want to get your guys' permission to be able to interview and let Scarlett tell her story of what's going on down here in Leflore County with the prosecution of her case and other cases. Is that okay?
Yes, that's
fine. And are you okay with that, Scarlett?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to tell your story?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you guys want to stay, if Scarlett wants you to just hang in the back.
Do you want us to be like, I was on the way.
Okay. No worries.
No, that's fine. Do you want us to like leave the room completely? Yes. Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, no problem.
So Scarlett, I have a large audience in our local area, and I know I've been talking to your mom for quite a while, for a month or so, and she's given me a rundown on what's happening or what really is more focused on what's not happening with the case. And I just want to kind of get your view of what happened, like when did it happen, when it came out, what was the process like, what happened? Let's start with what happened.
So like when it came out, are you asking like, about
so what happened, what actually happened
to me?
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa, he touched me and
I mean, I know it's hard.
Sorry, I'm
no,
like
it's embarrassing. I understand. I mean, so your grandfather actually physically touched you in inappropriate places, and at the time, did you know that was wrong?
Well, like I had like an idea of like something like it wasn't normal, but I didn't really know that it was like wrong.
Right. Did he ever like tell you not to tell anybody, or how did that stay under wraps? Because if I understand, how long did this go on for?
Like 5-6 years.
5 or 6 years. How old were you whenever?
I think it started when I was like 5 or 6, and I like told somebody when I was around 10.
Around 10.
Yeah.
And so that's when it came out. During those years, did he ever say anything like how to suppress, or how did he keep you from telling people?
He didn't ever really tell us not to tell anybody. It's hard to explain. It was just like something that for some reason we just knew we couldn't tell somebody.
Right.
I don't know how to explain that, but it was like, he made it seem like a secret, so we felt like it would be a secret.
I gotcha. Was there other children involved?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Like as far as I know, it would have been like, including me, it would be like, I don't know, it would be like Stormy, Sheila, Lola, me, maybe Mercedes, a lot.
So there's, I count 5.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And there's probably more that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So with the current situation with your case, I've been following down in Leflore County. This case has been going on for 4 years. And I believe you're 14 now, correct? And so this come out when you were 10 years old, which was 4 years ago. How did it come out? How did you disclose that this was happening?
I ended up telling my mom, or me and Lola told my mom and Mercedes. It just like, well, it kind of happened because I was talking to this girl. I had a friend on my phone, and then I ended up telling her what happened, and then my mom found it, so I just ended up telling my mom.
Exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened after that?
She went, I don't know, I guess she just went and told the cops, and that's where it all started.
So she went and made a police report, and they started investigating. Did the cops, obviously, well, let me ask you this. Did the cops ever interview you?
Mm-hmm.
They never asked you any questions whatsoever? Not one time did they bring you in and say, hey, what happened? Was there any type of exams?
Mm-hmm.
Like having to take you to the doctor and have them try to get DNA evidence? So nothing. Wow. So this has been going on for 4 years, and obviously there's more and more people, children that has come out. How have they been involved with this case?
It was just done to them. I don't.
Okay, so I guess let me rephrase that. Like, how are they willing to, have they been willing to support you and come out and talk also? Mm-hmm. So they have. So they are part of this case as far as witnesses and stuff like that. Good. So I just found out that this perpetrator, which was your grandfather, your great grandfather by marriage, I believe, it was just offered a plea deal, a plea bargain. Mm-hmm. A year in county jail and 25-year suspended sentence and some other conditions that I'm sure that will have to be met. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I mean, it just basically feels like nothing happened.
Right? Like he's okay to just do what he did?
Yeah, it's just kind of like nothing happened at all, really.
Right? What do you think is going to happen in the future if he doesn't get put in jail?
I don't know. He's old. I guess he'll die or continue to do whatever he's doing.
I believe that he's 80 years old at this point.
I don't even know, but
he's pretty old. Yeah. It's interesting that excuse me. It's interesting that the Leflore County prosecutors it seems like they didn't take this case serious. I don't think that it's fair to you. It's not fair to your parents. It's not fair to the other victims. It's definitely not fair to the public because he could be out there doing other things to children. I think that we can at least make this public enough that there's awareness out there. Maybe there's other kids that this may be happening to, that if they see your story, that they will be able to say, hey, this is wrong and I need to talk about it. What would you say to other kids that may be going through something like this? What advice would you give them?
To not let it break you. It can make or break you. You just can't let it ruin your whole life. Like, and in the moment when things happen, it feels like your whole life is just over, like you're just useless, but you just can't let it bring you down like that.
You are not useless. I assure you that. Is that how the system, or is this how the DA, the prosecutors are making you feel by not prosecuting? I'm sorry. I will do everything in my power to make this right. You are not worthless. I want to stop. I want to stop this from happening to other kids, and you can help that. Use your experience and be vocal about what's happening. I don't know if you know what's going on in Sallisaw over at the East Side School. There was some kids that did some really bad things, and the authorities wanted to keep this covered up because it's a judge's son that's doing it. We're not going to let that happen. And you, being young and being a voice for other victims, can help kids know that this is wrong if it's going on at home, or if it's going on at school, or if it's going on, anywhere. That it needs to be brought to the public's attention. And I hope that you, by talking about this, gives other girls courage to come forth and say, I have another case that I'm working with is Bobby Delaplank. Are you familiar with Bobby? Has your mom talked to you about Bobby Delaplank when she was a 13-year-old child in school? He was a superintendent at Bacoshi, Bill Delaplank, but doing the same thing. And the prosecutors, your same prosecutors, are doing nothing for him, nothing to him. And that was 10 kids that he got a hold of, or roughly 10. And so a lot of people come forward and said that they were doing that with them also. And with it being kept quiet or prosecutors not prosecuting, it just basically gives the perpetrators a green light to do whatever they want to do, because especially here in Leflore County, because if they're not going to be prosecuted, then there's no punishment. Then why would they stop? And so be a voice for all these other girls that are it's happening to, that they don't know that it's wrong or whatever. And I assure you, you're not worthless by no means at all. If you can help just 1 or 2 or 10 little girls in your entire lifetime, it will be well worth it. And I assure you that they will appreciate it. Is there anything that you would want to say to the prosecutor that has offered that plea bargain that's basically nothing? What would you say to him?
I think he's just not doing anything. He's not doing his job. I mean, he's letting other people out there, like, what if that was his kid? What if I was his kid? And he's just letting other people go around. It's not fair, and it's not making him look very good. And he doesn't deserve the job he has. Just how I feel about it.
That's a very powerful statement. What would happen if you was his kid? What do you think he would do? If you were his child, what would happen?
I don't know him like on a personal level, and I obviously don't see him as a father figure or anything such as that, but I don't think I'd be very proud to call him my dad, because I don't think he'd do anything more than what he's done for anybody else, seems like.
I hope the DA watches this. I know that he will. I will send this to him personally, and I will call him this week and tell him that I sent it to him and he needs to watch it. Is there anything that you would want to tell the people out there that is going to watch this, that what they could do to make this better in Leflore County? What would you do to help solve this issue?
I guess get better people out there to do the job, because these people obviously just care about the money they're getting and the friends they're making rather than actually saving kids and helping kids.
I agree with that 1,000%. I agree with that 1,000%. It's like they're being paid tax dollars and they just don't want to work. And their job's secure, so they don't do anything. And it's sad that they don't have the passion to bring this to light. But I appreciate you speaking. I really do. I think there's going to be a lot of young girls out there that see you and say, if you can do this, then I can do this. When Mrs. Delaplane come forward, there was 8 to 10 other women that said this same thing happened to them. And I hope that more people, more children or more kids will come forward and say that this has happened to me by the same guy. And if nobody knows about it, then nobody knows about it. But if you are public about it, then people will say, hey, this happened to me, and they'll come forth. And there's power in numbers when there's a lot. And this is what's disturbing with me, is that you said that there are 5 or 6, 4 or 5 other girls that he had done this to, that has, put forth the effort to come forward and say that they're going to testify that same thing hasn't happened to them. And the district attorney here is still offering a plea bargain. That does not make sense to me. And the message that it sends not only to you or to them, but to the community, is that this crime is not worthy of a trial. And I think that that's wrong. I think that a trial is exactly what this needs, because you'll be able to face your perpetrator, and the public will be able to see that this is what this man did. And I think that's what would help with not just you, but with all the other people involved, would be seeing a trial to put this to the end. offering a guy a deal is not justice, in my opinion. And I'm sure it's not in yours either.
It's a little bit of his life taken, what little he has left, and then all of us girls get all of ours taken away. Every experience, everything that we've gone through, it's all been affected by something he did, and he barely gets anything out of it.
Right.
Everything.
You get it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a failure. That is literally a failure on many levels of the state and the district attorney and our justice system here in Oklahoma. And we're going to talk a little bit more about why, the potential why there's not a trial. I don't know if it has to do with they don't have the money to put this on trial, or they just don't have the will or the desire to do it. But there's too many cases like yours that my understanding that there's a lot of evidence that this guy could easily be found guilty, and they don't want to put this on trial for whatever reason. I think that we need a different legal system and a different set of rules and regulations that our legal system goes by when it comes to molestations and rape of children. I think that if that's the case, I think everybody needs to go to trial. There's no plea bargains. If you rape a child, or if you are inappropriate with a child, then that goes to trial. There's no bargains. It's not a bargain. We're not bargaining your life, and I'm sure that's what they're doing over there. Thank you, and I assure you, your life is not worthless. I assure you that, and I am going to try to make this as public as I can. I think the word needs to get out. This is what the district attorney in Leflore County is doing. I think it's wrong. It's wholly wrong. So I want to talk to your mom and your dad.
Okay.
And
with me? Or,
yeah,
okay.
You can stay here. Are you guys ready to come in?
Yeah. I'm taking this cat to...
Thank you. Seriously, I can't imagine what the letdown that when you found out on Friday that they're not gonna, because they told you that he was gonna go to trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
this was like the second time that they've been like letting me up to it, and then just like letting me down.
you want to sit here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mom, Dad, that was interesting. It's hard. Whenever your daughter makes a statement that her life is, that she makes it feel like it's useless. I hope the district attorney understands that this is way bigger than just a win or a loss on his record. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel, really angry, and like I can't go to a law enforcement that's meant to be to help protect and serve that's not doing that. They're not doing their job. It's as simple as I can put it. They're not doing
How long did this case go on?
4 years.
And in that 4 years, what did they tell you? How did it start?
There's a lot of waiting on feedback, a lot of waiting on any information on the case as a whole. It was a lot of, there's just a lot of quiet time, that was hard for me to get a lot of information or anything to look forward to as far as like how the case was moving along. There's just been very much going on. It seemed like they were sleeping on it, is what it felt like.
So in the very beginning, so what you're saying is they really didn't want to prosecute this case.
Yeah, that's what it seemed. to be, because I mean they weren't doing it. You know, they weren't trying to move it along. They weren't trying to get things going with it. There was no momentum. It was just dead silence for a lot of it.
How did you get them to start the momentum?
I don't know that I really got them to start. I almost gave up on trying to hope for him to be convicted because it wasn't looking like anything. And I went and filed for a civil suit. That went nowhere either. So I left it alone, you know. Then things started happening. And I, with the...
So let me ask you this. So the civil suit, after years, right? After years.
3 years, yeah.
You said you pretty much gave up on the district attorney prosecuting any of this.
Right.
And Scarlett had mentioned that there's several other girls that came forward and said this happened to them.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Right.
How did that affect when you went to the civil side of things? How did that affect the district attorney's thoughts and his processes?
Well, I didn't hear anything about it from the district attorney's office until the other day, Monday. Monday is when I heard about it.
What did they tell you?
They asked me if I filed a civil suit, and I said yes. And
So you actually filed a civil suit?
I did. I hired an attorney for one, yes.
So has the suit been filed officially or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's still in the process of
Right,
that.
I think. I don't know. Like I said, there wasn't not a lot happened with it either. And so I kind of, there was at one point a mention of, you know, him paying reimbursement, you know, to Scarlett for her, you know, suffering, and I was hoping to have it to use for counseling for her, maybe, or you know.
Is Scarlett in counseling now?
No, there's a long waiting list for the Choctaws, and that's what we have to use because we.
And you are tribal.
Yes.
And he is not tribal.
No.
That's why it's stayed in the state.
Right.
I know I spoke to Will briefly, and they didn't really involve too much of you in this whole process. And it's kind of an interesting pattern that I'm starting to see in the Eastern Oklahoma justice system, is where when you have single mothers with children that are being molested or sexually assaulted, that they don't prosecute. They sweep it under the rug. Right. They don't want to hold the alleged accountable. Right. I think that this case here, going 4 years, is a very prominent. It's very prominent that that's their intentions. It doesn't take 4 years to get 4 or 5 girls together, get the evidence collected, and have a trial.
No. All of them have been ready to testify, countless times. They've been prepped up and building up the courage to get ready to go and testify in front of him and the defendant. And it's just, then they've been told, not today. Never mind, not today, and been turned around.
Trial was set for when?
Monday. This Monday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Supposed to.
Yeah, and we're gonna still show up as if we're still having court.
They called you on Friday?
Yeah, 30 minutes before the courthouse would be closed, so that I couldn't come up there, is what I figure. To tell me, and actually they had Gail call me to tell me, she's the coordinator, the district attorney's coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah, had her call me. She's not even in town, so they didn't even have it in them to call me themselves. You know, Mike Dunnigan or Kevin, any of them. They had Gail call me.
Was there any other trials scheduled and they canceled?
Not a trial However, every court date has been continued and continued and continued and continued and continued leading up to this. That's why, that's why it's gone on for 4 years, because they just keep getting continued. They've switched prosecuting attorneys several times throughout our case. First, it started with Mike Dunnigan, and now it's ending with Mike Dunnigan. But there was 2 others temporarily that weren't supposed to be on her case. During the 4 years, there was 2 other people in between. Now it's Mike Dunnigan. Yeah, I know. It's because they hired someone else apparently, and they were taking that nature of cases, and so she got moved to them, or they got moved to her, I guess I should say. But but then they didn't. I don't know if they stopped working there or if they just got moved on to a different task. I'm not really sure what happened with that, but I know that we're back with Mike Dunnigan where we began, and he still has no clue about any details about the case. I mean, every time I come in there to speak with him, it's like he's hearing this information for the first time, every time, after 4 years. And
is this the individual that that you went and talked to?
Yeah.
And you recorded that conversation?
Yes.
I listened to that conversation very thoroughly. And one of the disturbing things in there is that he was concerned with the opposing attorney for the defense or cross-examining Scarlett.
Right.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he said, so Scarlett knew that you had hired an attorney for a civil suit, and I said yes. And he goes, oh, well, see, Gary Buckles might really drill her about that then on the stand. Well, how would he know unless you told him? And aren't you supposed to be fighting her defense? I mean, I found that pretty clear as day that he wasn't fighting for my daughter.
Right.
Is what I took that as. He didn't realize my daughter was the Native American in the case. He thought another victim was that hasn't come forward, that doesn't want to talk. So
you're telling me that the district attorney has really no clue on who his players are whatsoever?
Not really, no. No, I mean, it's like I'm telling him things for the first time every time.
Every single time.
Yeah. And
and Scarlett, you never spoke to the prosecuting attorney?
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's who we go and talk to when we
yeah, I have.
Okay. Was there, I asked Scarlett earlier, and I understand, I mean, she's young, she's 14, and she may not have known, but I asked her if there was any interviews with her.
She had an interview at the beginning with Child Advocacy Center.
Where was that at?
In Poto.
And how'd that work out?
Not real well. I mean, there wasn't, she didn't really say a whole lot with them during her forensics interview and stuff. She just didn't say it.
Scarlett, do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I thought you meant like cops coming in questioning.
I'm sorry.
me.
No. So a forensic interview is when you go and talk to the Child Advocacy Center, and I'm learning a lot about how that whole system works. You go into a house, like in Sallisaw, it's a house, and you just sit and talk about the things that happen, pretty much like what is happening here. I mean, I'm sure that the questions. Do you remember that interview? Mm-hmm. What did they ask you?
She just asked me what happened and like just timelines of things and just basic things.
Did you tell her everything that happened?
The first time, no, and the second time, not everything. But
okay, I have a hard question for you.
Okay. Why
did you not tell them everything?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's because Lola, she's my cousin, and she was one of the girls, and I was more worried about her not wanting, because originally she didn't want to come forward about it, and I did, and I didn't want her to not I didn't want it to ruin our friendship because of it, because I didn't know how things would play out if I told somebody, even though knowing she didn't want to.
I understand. It's traumatic. Mm-hmm. And one of the problems that I have with this advocacy center type thing is that I would say there's a tremendous amount of kids that are terrified. That's exactly what's happening in Sallisaw right now. That 8-year-old little girl will not speak. And and I've been told by the advocacy center, if she does not tell us, then there is no case. And that does not, I have a problem with the fact that if the child does not tell an individual that has 40 hours of training with 8 hours a year in continuous training, that there has been a crime committed, then there is no crime.
Right.
I have a big problem with this.
Well.
And what's crazy about it is it seems like they're the ones that control whether there's forensic evidence collected or not. Because, and Scarlett, I understand. It would be very, very hard to talk about something like this to a stranger. You've probably never met those people in your life. You go into a building, you don't know them from Adam. You're not going to open up and disclose what's happened to you and a stranger. And my understanding in Sallisaw, I don't know how, or in Sequoia County, I don't know how it is in Leflore, but they wouldn't let either of those parents in there with their child while they were interviewing. Did they not let you in with?
No, they wouldn't let me in there. Which, I mean, she doesn't always feel comfortable talking. I think she does better with just one-on-one with someone that makes her feel comfortable. And I don't think those people make her feel very comfortable.
No, the first time you've ever met, I mean, and that's the thing, when you're in there talking about something that's as grave as this,
right?
As a 10-year-old kid, you're asking a lot. You're asking a huge amount of trust. They don't know. I mean, they're 10 years old. They don't know the consequences of not telling.
Right.
They don't know. They don't know anything. And so, do you think that by her not telling the advocacy center what happened, do you think that affected the outcome of this case?
I don't think that. I think that the DA is trying to make me feel like that wouldn't help the case, but I disagree for the fact that there's plenty of other evidence anyway.
What other evidence do you guys have?
Oh, well, there's the only evidence they're claiming to still have, because there's a lot. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot that I had overheard in the federal court hearing at the beginning of this, when they named off some of the things they confiscated from his house.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that there is a federal court hearing on this?
Well, there was. The feds dropped her case, said it wasn't high enough on their priority list. Yeah, that's the exact words I got. And that's only
because she's Choctaw.
Yeah, that's why it started with the feds. Yeah,
okay.
It's because she's Choctaw.
And this was all in around the McGirt era.
Yes.
And so.
Yeah. So, the feds raided his house, though, and confiscated the evidence from his home.
Okay.
But there's lots of things that the DA right now for the state is claiming they don't have, that I heard them have, but I can't seem to get them to look into it. I can't seem to get them to be concerned about there being evidence that they somehow don't have. Nothing. I can't get anyone to do anything for me as far as that goes. And I've asked for where I need to go then to someone that will help me, and they won't give me any direction.
Let me ask you, Will, you're the father. Have they contacted you at all?
No, sir. My grandma, she has said like once or twice something along the lines of like, I love you, or like miss you in a message on Messenger, but that's it.
So just from your family. I'm talking about from the prosecutor, the attorney.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Nothing. Zero.
Not at all. Not even one time.
No.
And so you've headed this up pretty much all by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the father doesn't even exist.
Right.
My question is, let's go back to the evidence that you've heard in federal court. What did they have? What do you know they have that Leflore County Prosecutors?
I may or may not be wrong on the amount, but what I remember for sure is that there are computers, not one, but more than one computer. I think 6 is what the number was, but I can't be sure. That was 4 years ago, but there were computers that they confiscated because I guess he didn't know how to put anything on a hard drive. And in some of the girls' testimonies, the other victims' testimonies, they mentioned the computer. And
did he have pictures? Did he take pictures or
child
video?
Pornography was on there.
Of the kids? Of him?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Because they don't know what I'm talking about. They don't know what I'm talking about. But however, is it okay for me to say what you've told me?
Yeah.
Okay. She has come and told me and the DA several times that, you know, he used to, he would watch child pornography on his phone or on the TV in the living room or on the computer. What was it?
Once was on his tablet and then once was on his phone.
But right in the middle of the living room, in front of her and all the other kids, and would mess with himself while he's watching that right in front of him, child pornography. So, you know, and the grandma's just walking around in the house, knows this is happening. They've even gone as far as to be like, hey, Grandma, this makes us uncomfortable. And she's been like, oh, put pants on, Kenny. Like that was it. That's good enough, I guess. Like that wasn't a problem.
I have a question I'm going to ask Scarlett.
Okay.
And it's probably the hardest question. And you probably, if you don't want to answer it, I totally understand. But out of the 4 or 5 years that he was doing this, how many times did this happen?
Oh, like every time I was over there. Like,
huh?
Wait.
Like how many times did he?
To watch and do that.
Oh.
I think.
I've only seen him like do it like 3 times.
How many times did he touch you?
Every time I was over there. Every time I was at his house, or we were camping, or basically every time I was around.
Yeah, they had them a lot.
Every other weekend.
I mean, yeah, just about every other weekend. They'd spend the weekend there, like going.
So we're talking about hundreds of times.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is a lot of these questions you're asking were never even asked, which, you know, says a lot to me.
I don't understand why there's not a trial. I mean, I don't understand why you have to fight so hard for the justice,
Right.
for your daughter.
I mean, he's clearly. I mean, it's clear that there's enough evidence.
Scarlett, when you were there? Was there other girls there too?
Yeah, usually it was Lola. When she was over there, like I was over there.
So he was doing this with both of you at the same time?
Yeah.
I don't think every time though, right? But
No,
sometimes.
not every time.
sometimes.
Like not every time, but like yeah.
Often. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, and over the course of 4 years, I mean, you can't go back and say it happened on this day and that day and this.
Right.
I mean,
Especially when you're a kid.
Yeah, when you're a kid. I mean, look, it's, you know, every time you go over there, something's bad's going to happen. It might not be this or it might be that. I get it.
There was one time, pretty close to when she actually came and told me. They had gone with them for the weekend. Her and her brother and Lola and Robert, I think, were there. Robert's Lola's brother. Anyway, they'd gone camping, and she'd come back. When they got back, I ran her a bath, and she was red, you know, and it freaked me out. And I asked her, is she? I mean, very calmly.
You mean in a private area? She was red.
Yes, red, very red. Like, and it scared me. And so I asked her. I was like, "Did something happen? Did someone do something to you? What happened? Why is it? Why is it?" And she just said, "She goes, no, I don't know. No, I don't know." And so I called my mom. I called my grandma. I was like, "What do I do?" I said, you know, something's clearly, I don't know what, but something's happened, and she won't tell me anything. And they're like, well, if she won't tell you anything, there's nothing you can do. You just have to, you know, I guess they said just keep an eye out for it. Anyway, and so I just was kind of like, it bothered me for a little while, obviously, you know, but she never came and told me anything yet. So, but I've always remembered that. Another thing that sticks with me before I knew was that my son would call me at he'd be there all day. They both would be there all day, and it'd be about like 9 o'clock at night, and he would call me crying, wanting me to come get him. And I just told him, I just thought he was just being like how kids get sometimes. They don't want to be where they've been at all day because they're just whatever, you know. And so I would make him stay there, and that bothers me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, now that you know, I mean, you can't, there had to be some, there had to be some mechanism put in place that had these kids to be quiet.
Well, yeah, how could he tell me anything when they were standing right there, listening to him cry and want me to come get him, but he couldn't tell me why.
Yeah, there's for it to go on that long, he's mastered the mechanism of concealment. And that's what they normally do, I believe, is that they teach these kids not to say anything.
Lying or not admitting anything.
Or that this is normal and this is how kids learn, or whatever the case.
Right.
But my question, listen, I want to move back to the prosecutor. So you've got Lola and you've got Scarlett and you've got all these other children that have been, violated. As I understand it, there's some of them that are in their 20s and maybe in their 30s.
Yeah.
And they didn't come forward until...
most of them didn't. There was one that did when she was 15. She was living with them. She came out and... Sorry. Okay. She came out and said that he had been messing with her. I was in prison at this time, so my mom didn't tell me about. My kids were living with my mom at the time while I was in prison, and no one told me that this happened when it happened. But she had come out and said that he was messing with her, and I don't know exactly what she said, but that was what it added up to. And they told her, the grandparents, Kenny and Betty, told her that if she said that she was lying and that she made it all up, that she could come back and live in the house. Well, she had nowhere else to go. She was 15 years old. You know what I mean? There was no other family.
And she's willing to testify.
She's one of them that's willing to testify, yes. And anyway, she said that she lied and made it up because she had nowhere else to go. She told me personally, she said, I just kept my bedroom door locked after that. So, my daughter's not the only one.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And the issue of it is that this case sounds to me like it just wasn't a high enough profile case for them to carry it all the way through.
Right. We weren't the right people. No,
that's where I think that, and as I told your daughter earlier, I think that there's a problem with our justice system, and they choose who they prosecute and who they not prosecute based on who the victim is.
Right.
And we see that quite readily, even in Sequoia County. Lefore County is probably worse. I think that it's a good old buddy system here, is who you are. I don't know this Gary Buckles attorney. I know that he represents everybody that's has sexual assault charges on them. He's Bill Delaplank's attorney. He's the attorney for this individual. I don't even know the name of the grandfather. What's his name?
Kenneth Gaukel.
Yeah. Kenneth Gaukel. What would you want to say to the district attorney? Sitting right here, how do you feel? What would you want to say to him?
I feel like they're letting all the children, any child down that might have this going on that hasn't said something yet. They're just reinforcing that fear that they probably have to tell anyone anything by not doing anything about it. My daughter has told me, she feels like it just doesn't matter what happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. And I understand why she would feel that way, because that's how they treated it. And I think they should feel very ashamed for that, because if you can't advocate for the children in this world, then what are you doing?
I feel like they're advocating for him more than they are your daughter.
Absolutely they are. And
I mean, when you got a beautiful young girl, you got several of them, and I'm sure that 30 and 24-year-old women have spoken to them, and they don't advocate for them. They are protecting the child molester. Mm-hmm. And it is it's a slap in the face to father, to mother, to definitely the children, but also to the community.
Yeah.
It literally makes a safe haven for
pedophiles.
For pedophiles.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that.
I think they do. I think they just, it doesn't matter as much to them as the money. That's what I think. And that's a shame, because I'm sure they all have children, you know, most of them.
I assure you, if that happened to his kid, the guy would be under the jail right now.
Right. But when you let so many of them free and run around this county, what do you think? I mean, most of the population is going to be made up of them at some point. I mean, you know, it's bound to happen to your own kids if you don't do something about it. If they're not doing anything, then they could have teachers that are like that. They could have, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what are you going to do at this point?
I mean, I'm not going to stop trying to get what I think my daughter deserves.
And what is that?
Justice. I think he needs to go to prison. I think that not only does he need to go to prison, but I also feel that his wife needs to be charged. I think she knows. I know she knows. The kids have told her.
So let me ask you this. You've been to prison, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And what did you go to prison for?
Drugs.
So you're telling me, how long was you in prison?
I did a year both times that I went.
Okay, so you've been in prison twice.
Yes.
For drugs.
For drugs, yeah.
So you're telling me somebody that's addicted to drugs is more important to prosecute than a pedophile molesting children.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they'll prosecute you here in you're in Leflore County? Mm-hmm. So Leflore County prosecuted you twice for drugs.
They prosecuted me once. The other time was in Sebastian County.
Okay, so
yeah.
So they prosecuted you for drugs, but they won't prosecute for a sexual assault.
Yeah, a month after I turned 19, my first time meeting with my court-appointed attorney. Mm-hmm. Right before I went in front of the judge, Doug Schmuck, he told me this word for word what he said. There was even some people that were close enough to hear him say it to me. He told me that he's not going to lift a finger to help me, that he hates women on drugs, that his wife left him and his children and is on drugs, and that I'm lucky he's getting me what he was getting me, which was 3 years in prison and 7 years deferred. It was my first time ever being in trouble. Ever.
Did you have Scarlett then?
I did. She was little, her and her brother.
And so they'll prosecute a single mother. You've never been married?
No.
They'll prosecute a single mother for drugs, but they won't prosecute a child molester that's molested 4, 5, 6 people that are willing to testify that this happened to them.
Right.
That's what you're hearing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, Dad?
100%.
How does that make you feel?
I feel like it's nice to be heard, but it's like nothing is getting done. And like, I know that I was confused. In general, I was under the impression that there wasn't going to be nothing Monday, right? So we're not doing.
Yeah, they're not having.
Yeah, there's no trial Monday.
Yeah, they're not
whenever they send a plea bargain out, they'll give them a certain amount of time to accept it.
Right. Don't they have to do it in a courtroom though, correct?
Yeah, so a plea bargain will be it's an agreement. It's an offer made by the prosecutor that says.
I know he has a sentencing.
Oh yeah, there'll be a sentencing hearing, but yeah, if he accepts that, the judge has to accept it. There is a possibility that you could petition the judge not to accept that.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
So with this video, I'm going to try to get this video as public as I possibly can, and I think that you need to. Are you having a protest on Monday? Is what I heard.
Yeah, I made a post on Facebook. I'm trying to get as many people to show up with us. I mean, we're going regardless. We're going to show up like as if we were going to trial still.
What time?
9 a.m.
At Lefore County Courthouse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're wearing red, so that way if anybody that wants to show up can wear red too, and everyone will know what they're there for. So.
Have you had a lot of support?
I haven't checked my phone since.
Did you put that up on the South South Transparency page?
I did.
Good.
I did.
I'm gonna cut this video unedited.
Okay.
I'm gonna just let it rip just how it is.
Okay.
I think that it's heartfelt. I think that it's I think the family is hurting that justice is not being served. I do think that it is 100% based on economics. Either they don't have that, and they may not have the money to prosecute it, or they don't. As I said earlier, this guy's 80 years old now. Do they want to put an 80-year-old man in jail and have to pay all the medical expense?
They keep bringing that up too. They keep saying, he's 80 years something old, and he may not make it very long. I'm like, well, I don't care. That just means he's had that much longer to get away with it.
And just as Scarlett said earlier, that he doesn't get any punishment, and she has to live with this for the rest of her life. And she's 14. I mean, she's got a very long time to deal with this, and this won't ever go away in her mind. This is not a thing that just here today and gone tomorrow. No. It's a everlasting.
It'll affect her even in ways she doesn't realize it's affecting her.
Oh, sure, and in several ways that she doesn't even know about yet.
Right, exactly.
I don't even know what to say. I've been speaking with you for the last month and a half, and I've followed this case fairly well. I got deplatformed off of Facebook because of how vocal I was about the Sallisaw incident. It doesn't stop me because the Facebook page is still there running. I still have control of it, but it just made me want to fight harder.
Yeah.
And so I've created an X platform. I'm probably going to do a TikTok and a Truth Social platform and just go all the way across. The prosecuting attorney, the DA, I think in Lefore County is worthless.
Yeah.
And I think they're causing Scarlett to feel like she's worthless, and that was her exact words. And I think that is a tragedy at the highest level.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. And I'm gonna do everything I can to get this in the public's view, public opinion. Look, Lefore County, I think that you guys need to understand that you have a district attorney that needs to be replaced. I think that he doesn't advocate for the children, especially whenever they get molested. You've got 5 or 6 people sitting here in this particular case that has been molested. They are willing to talk about it. I think that the child advocacy groups, I think they need to be disbanded. I don't think that they should have the say whether or not a forensic interview is the end-all be-all for whether a crime has been committed. Donna Owens up in Sequoia County and Shauna Morris thoroughly has control whether or not a child's been raped or not. Whether if those kids do not talk, then they do not go forward, and that's wrong. And I'm sure it's the same way down here in Leflore County.
Yeah.
You saying that you didn't want to talk, Scarlett, I understand. I wouldn't talk to him either, not at 10 years old. And that right there does not mean there's not a crime committed.
No, and you'd think there were people with a psychiatric background and education that would be there to help make other people understand
more than 40
how that
hours.
works.
More than 40 hours of training.
Yeah.
I work 40 hours in 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't be an expert of anything in 40 hours.
No.
To become an expert, you need 10,000 hours of training.
Yeah.
And so this is why you guys are at where you're at, because the way the justice system is put together, not just in Leflore County, but in Oklahoma. Education, we're 50th in the state in education. They pray, the justice system preys upon that. They know that, single moms, they don't have the funds or the knowledge to bring this forward. But what they do have, and I assure you, because I talked to several people, is you guys have the desire.
Yeah.
And I'm helping with that. I hope that we can get this into the public's eyes and that it doesn't go unnoticed.
Sorry.
You're all right. But no, that's I want to end this right here. I want to go publish this.
Okay.
And I can't guarantee you I'm going to show up tomorrow, but I'm going to do everything I can to show up tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
All right, that'd be great.
I'm going to post on Facebook this video. I'm going to put it on YouTube and then it'll link out.
Okay.
And you can send it to anybody you want. Dad, is there anything that you want to contribute? I know that you haven't been a big part of this because they've kept you out of it. And they probably have kept you out of it for a reason. What would you want to say to the prosecutor?
Which one's the prosecutor?
Yeah.
The people we went and talked to, the district attorney's office. He doesn't know a lot about.
Yeah, right. They kept you, they kept him on the sideline for a reason. They don't want to have, if they can just deal with one person and not two, it's easier for them. And so, what would you say to the guy that made the decision not to take this to trial?
Oh yeah, that's if it's not going to trial, I just think that'd be really frustrating. And if we are, then I think they just need to. I guess I feel like everybody's being paid off is where I'm coming from with the whole Buckles concept. It seems like everybody down there that they thought that didn't have a heart, if they're all switching sides so quick over, whether it's the money or whether it's just the lack of them wanting to deal with it, it's still, they all have kids. And so that's what I don't understand, is everybody out there has kids to where they know, like you said, it's been going on for generations, the same guy. So they're gonna saying this one person, at 80, he's been able to do this to so many different kids, and if they can't put him away, it makes me really, really doubt that the ones that are able to move and run around that aren't 80 definitely are going to be here for a while, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, they're not doing anything with these predators.
Nothing. Seems like they're doing nothing at all.
Well, the only way you can change this is to talk about it,
Right.
and to make it public.
Right.
That's the only way that this changes.
And the sad part about that is there's a gray line to where you want to respect the ones that have been harmed,
Oh yeah.
And so it's like hard, and I think they know that too. I think they know that it's hard for you to really say a whole lot and that'll really get people's attention without making it harder for them.
Still got the hiccups.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to scare her here in a minute.
But no, I'm gonna do everything I can to get this out into the mainstream media. Something needs to change, and this just isn't working at all.
No, it's not.
And so I'm gonna end with this: that Scarlett, you are not worthless, by no means at all. And I do not think that I don't think the prosecutor that made the decision, the district attorney that made the decision to not prosecute this case via a trial, understands the message that he's sending to these kids.
Right.
Because what he's sending to them is that they are worthless.
Right.
That's the only message he's sending.
Matter.
They don't matter, and they do matter.
Yeah.
This is. She has just as much feelings as his kid.
Yeah.
And I assure you, if this was his kid, the perpetrator would be under the jail. He would never see the light of
These
day
are
again.
people that are going to be helping run the state, the country later. You know what I mean? In a few years. I mean, do they want these people to be screwed up? I mean, do they want them to feel like, or do they want them to feel like they had nowhere to go, no one to turn to, and so then they don't do much with their lives either? I mean, that's what statistically that's what ends up happening. Is a lot of the times people in our branch, she's not going to. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. But they don't. If nothing ever happens for them, they don't get the help they need. They just end up in the prison system.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, and that's just a revolving door.
Yeah.
It is, and I'm glad that you broke that chain.
Yeah.
And what you're doing for Scarlett is amazing. I think that being vocal about this and going public with it is going to be the only way anything gets done.
Absolutely.
That's my. We've got prosecutors up in Sequoia County telling these victims, do not say a word. Do not say a word to anybody.
Yeah.
Because they want to be able to control the outcome.
Said.
Yeah, the outcome of the situation. And the sad thing of it is that the outcome of the situation is a public trial. Yeah. These trials should be public.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're trying not to facilitate that. I think that.
And hiding behind that they're protecting the victims.
Oh yeah, they're protecting they're not protecting the victims. They're protecting the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's just what it is. These law enforcement folks are I don't know, I don't want to say breaking every rule of engagement, but yes, I mean, they protect the perpetrator. Donna Owens is protecting the judge's son up there. And it was just because that little girl won't speak or that little boy didn't say the right words.
Yeah.
You know, same thing down here. She didn't speak, so nothing went forward.
Yeah. Because there wasn't someone really advocating for her to
Nope.
explain why she might not say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's saying something now.
Yeah.
And there's
And they don't want anyone else to hear what she has to say.
Yeah. Well, they're going to hear what she has to say, whether they like it or not. I don't care, and I appreciate you letting Scarlett tell her story, and for you guys to tell your story. This story is not going to end, and so with the traction that we're getting with the other cases, and hopefully this, gets a lot of traction. This needs to be looked at. There's 5 kids that was molested, and no justice for them.
Right.
I mean, if you want to call a plea bargain justice.
Right.
That's not justice.
No.
So I'm going to end it with there. And if you guys have any questions, you have my phone number. Call me.
Okay.
And or text me. And then I'm going to do my best to get down there tomorrow.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.